back to Indian Head Trail. Thank you for tuning in. I promised a bow review on the Elite Ethos, and I wanted to wait. I did an unboxing on it, and I actually shot a local 3D shoot with it, and I was able to really gather my thoughts and have some time shooting it and really give you guys what I think instead of just shooting it a couple times out of the box and saying, oh, it's great. No, I've actually had a little bit of time. I've got it fully set up, fully sighted in, and man, this is a great bow. First of all, right off the rip, it's the Elite riser and grip that I really like. The Elite stays really consistent with their grip, and so far they're making changes and adding new technology to their risers, but it's still that really good Elite feeling. I've shot older Elites like Energies and Options and some other ones, and they all have a distinct feel to them that you just know you're shooting an Elite bow. And this one follows suits, and it feels really good. It's 33 axle to axle, and it's actually, I've watched a lot of videos from the manufacturer, from Elite, and from other people, and one thing I seen really thrown out there was the 33 brings a new string angle, or brings back a string angle they had with one of their older, really popular bows. And I'd have to say, I agree. The string angle on this bow at 33 axle to axle is phenomenal. It really feels good. In fact, it feels so good, I'm not even running a kisser or a nose button, because I was able to get just an immediate anchor point on this bow, touching my nose to the tip of the string, and it's consistent every time. And I'm somebody that ran a kisser on my last two bows. I ran a kisser consistently to help with form and just anchor point. And this bow with the different string angle, it's just so easy to find that anchor point. There's definitely something to be said about the string angle. Now they did do something that I haven't seen anybody talk about, and I'll bring it up here so you guys can see an integrated dampener in the riser. They, just like the Omnia, they added this lower, I guess, small little weight or balance point. They've got three. I know this is for the integrate back bar. This is for everybody else's back bar, and I want to say this is also for an integrated back bar that can drop it down. Don't hold me to that, but they give you a lot of positions on this riser to have some adjustability. The strings on this bow are actually so they're winter choice strings, and everybody says, oh well, stock strings, take them off right away, get rid of them. And for a lot of bow manufacturers, I will agree that that's a thing. Everybody knows zebra strings on Matthews were really bad, and now they're match strings. Bear strings, the strings that come on all bear bows, are horrible in my personal experience. Bowtech strings, I know on they run Diamond as their more affordable brand. My first bow was a Diamond, and the strings on that was really bad. But for the winter choice stock strings that come on this bow, I'd have to say I'm very impressed. First of all, when you feel them, they are a lot. You can just tell that they are a quality string. They're not thin. The servings are really nice on them. If you're not going to spend the money to switch strings on a bow immediately, the Elite Ethos and the winter choice strings are a really solid option, because these strings out of the box are really good. Are they the best strings on the market? No, they're stock strings. There's there's companies out there that all they do is strings, and so their strings have all the newest technology, and they are just the best of the best. But for out of the box strings, I don't think any other manufacturer does it better than Winter's Choice. And they are you can get custom Winter Choice strings with your bow as well. Of course, Elite has their roller cam. They're adjustable, and on my last Elite bow, I'm really glad I had it, because I did have to tune that a little bit. It's really a wider and shorter limb with a bigger cam that seems to be this year for 2024, it seems like all the manufacturers are offering shorter limbs, wider limbs with a bigger cam. I believe the other bow, I can't even say the name on it. It starts with a K, but I believe they have a smaller cam to them. But so when I outfitted this bow, I outfitted it completely with the Outdoor Group products because all their products are phenomenal. I don't just say that, I mean it. I spend my own personal money on them. They're great. So I went with the single pin CBE Trek with a Shrewd light at it. I've got over 120 on this sight tape. I believe it's 127 exactly is what I got on this sight tape. It is a single pin. I went with the QAD HDX Elite branded drop away. I went with a G5 Peep. This is just a standard. This isn't one you can add clarifiers or anything. This is just a good old standard one size Peep. I ran it on my last bow and it was phenomenal. I went with front and back bar, although I do not have my back bar on here. The CBE Torex Hunting. This is the 11 and I have the 7 for a back bar. I'm trying to think what else. Oh yeah, I went with the Elite Integrate. They have an integrated, you guys can see the wrist sling. I like a wrist sling. As you can see, it doesn't attach up here. It actually goes through the riser, so it is an integrate option. I'm running the Ultra Arrows, the 246 standard diameter Centrum Premium for this bow as well. And man, this thing has been great. First of all, we paper tuned it out of the box in 3 shots. We really didn't do much adjusting to it. We just it out of the box paper tuned great, which I'm not gonna lie, the set technology on this was really intimidating because I heard from a lot of guys that say, hey, if you haven't tuned with it before, it can be intimidating, and it can also be kind of challenging if you don't really know what you're doing. And we did not have that out of the box. This didn't really need much tuning. I mean, when we go to broadhead tuning a little later on, right now it is early spring, we're getting ready for summer 3D. When we start getting in the early and late fall, early fall, when we start to go broadhead tuning, we'll see how that all goes with the set technology. But out of the box, 3 shots on paper, and at the local bow shop, beautiful. I took it home, ran it through my paper, just because I was like, man, 3 shots, that can't be right. Dude, this thing, I made 3 bullet holes in paper at home. So paper tune was really good. That's all the positives. I'm going to give you guys some negatives about the bow. First of all, this being a 33 axle to axle aluminum riser bow, it's not a light bow. I mean, I don't have the factory specs, but fully loaded out, I'm going to say it's a heavier bow, but it's very balanced out, and it takes you getting used to, but once you're used to what you have in your hand, you're good. With the weight, it is very, very level. It holds and points very well. I know they said they were trying to bring back, a familiar feel with this bow that they had with one of their most successful bows. Put it down in the comments if you guys know which bow that was. I forget which one it was offhand. But it's a little heavy. I'll give it that. It's a little heavy. That's really the only negative. And, well, I love the Elite grip, but I'll say, so this is early spring and the temperatures dropped back down. We had a beautiful week and now it's cold again. I really wish Elite offered, like Bowtech has, that angled backstop that could be adjustable and maybe make their scales a little bit bigger. I don't want them to change the shape of their grip. I'd really like to see these scales cover more and maybe offer something back here, just so that way you're not holding on to the cold riser. But that's my personal preference. I love their grip. I would not change their grip. Out of everybody who's got a rubber or plastic or adjustable, all those grips suck, and this one's the best, in my opinion. Every bow I've picked up, And then I go and pick this one up. Like, I mean, something people don't talk about, and I know you guys who have custom stippling on a Glock would probably recognize what I'm talking about. But look at the undercut on this grip and some of the machining into it. They have like a small hump here on this thing because how your hand rides up and it offers protection. I mean, this grip may look like the most basic one on the market, but I bet you there's more thought that goes into this grip than any of those other rubber grips. And it shows because this is a very comfortable grip. It's just, unfortunately, it's cold. It is a cold grip. This one is, I've got it set, my draw length is 28.5. That's what I run. That's what I feel most comfortable at. And then the draw weight on this is set just below 70 pounds. I've got it turned down a little bit. I think it's at like, I'm going to say it's at like 67 pounds, and that's what I'll shoot 3D at. And then I'll go back to the full 70 when we go to like broadhead test and tune for the fall. Other than that, man, this bow has just been an out-of-the-box pleasure. I think that's, if I had to label it, is out-of-the-box pleasure. Grip is good. The draw cycle on this thing, let's take a shot with it. I'm here at 40 yards. The draw cycle on it's amazing. It doesn't have any back wall dump and hump and dump. It's a smooth draw cycle. The holding weight, of course, Elite has. I don't know what the let off on this is, but I don't like holding a lot of weight when I hold. I know some people who are a little unsteady when they shoot. They prefer the weight because it forces them to steady themselves out. Not me. I don't have an issue holding steady, so I feel when I get back here, I don't want a lot of weight to hold on to. I don't want to worry about holding weight. I just want to worry about holding steady and making a good shot, and keeping my pin on target. And this bow does that well. I'm trying to think of any other possible negatives I can think about, but there's not many. I mean, this bow doesn't have all the latest and greatest technology on it, like the Matthews lift, or a lot of them guys are starting to run a Picatinny up front. But this bow doesn't have it, and that's okay. That is okay. The Elite's kind of really in their own class. Alright, sorry. Getting a phone call. I'm recording this on my phone just for convenience. Yeah, I was talking about they don't have some of the latest and greatest technology. They don't have the Picatinny up front. They don't have anything integrated going through the risers, so you do have to do side mount or dovetail mount sights. But I mean, Elite has formed a bunch of really, within the outdoor group with Elite, there's Scott, Ultra Arrows, CBE, Slick Trick broadheads. I mean, they have a family of products that you can use on their bows that are all really great products. You're not going to go to a competition, a fun event. You're not going to walk into the woods feeling like you don't have the latest and greatest and you feel outgunned in some type of way. When you get one of these bows, you're going to be happy. You're going to be happy with your purchase, I promise. Go shoot some other bows and then come back and shoot the Ethos or the Omnium. You're gonna go, one, the draw cycle's better, two, the grip feels great, and the draw cycle, you're just gonna be like, wow, that was really smooth. At least these are my thoughts. These are the thoughts I have. That's exactly what I did. Is I went and I shot some of these newer bows, and I played with the lift a little bit, and I'm not gonna lie, the lift is, you get a little you finally get one in your hands after all the hype, and you're like, holy wow, this has got a ton of technology, and this is a really nice bow. But at the end of the day, when I drew that bow back, it wasn't an Elite. It didn't have that smooth draw cycle and grip that I like. and that's why I keep coming back to Elite, and that's why the Ethos is just a continuance into them developing the same product. In my opinion, it's the same product that's being refined, is really how I feel the Ethos and the Omnia all kind of come out. It's nothing new, but it's a refinement of something that works really well. And that's my review. I'm not they're not paying me to say nice things about it. Like I said, I've said some negatives. I think it's a heavy bow. I think the grip is horrible in colder weather because it's freezing. Um, but there's very little bad I can really say about the bow. I wish it had more technology. I wish it was compatible with Picatinny up front. That would be pretty cool. It'd be cool if it had if they start machining into the riser for integrate rest. So if you're looking for Picatinny and integrate for the latest and greatest on technology, the Ethos might not be for you. But if you're looking for a consistent, smooth shooting, accurate bow that does offer some integrate and good technology, the Ethos is for you. I don't want to make this review too long. I really just wanted to share some of my thoughts and opinions on the bow. I love it. I love shooting the Elite bows. I love their grips. Whenever I pick up a new Elite bow, it's so easy for me to develop a really good hold and anchor point with them because they make a bunch of changes, but they also leave that interface onto the platform kind of the same, so it's easy to have the newer experience, but get into that bow and just feel like, oh, this is home. So if you're an Elite shooter, you'll like that. If you're a new Elite shooter, um, you definitely pick it up, try it at your pro shop. You're going to like the draw cycle, the let off, the grip. I promise. I've shot other bows. I mean, there are other good bows. Oh, that vibration. Vibration on this bow was not a lot. I shot it without a stabilizer and with a stabilizer. Um, and there's not, I mean, it's not the best on the market for vibration dampening, and it's really nice. Like I showed you guys, it had that integrated dampener and a riser, and as far as I know, that's a first for Elite. But I mean, it's just a very smooth bow, and I don't see, I didn't experience a lot of vibration. I can't say it's, go out today, buy it because it has zero and it's the best on the market. I can't say that, but comparative, I like, the amount that comes out of it, which is very little. It's a quiet bow for the most part. I really found myself thinking, man, this is a target bow that you could take hunting. The 33 axle to axle kind of really makes it, and the longer riser makes it feel like a target bow. But there's still enough feel of a hunting bow here that I would hunt with it, which I plan. And so they really bridge that gap between a target and a hunting bow. So you guys that want to go out there all summer and shoot 3D, and then come in the fall, take that same bow that you spent so much time, putting form and practice and arrows through, and take it hunting, this is a really good option. So my plan is I'm going to run the CBE with its factory single pin housing all summer, and then I'm going to switch out the housing come fall and put a 3-pin back on it, and I'm going to hunt with this bow. Weight and axle length is a bit of a concern. I'll have to keep that in mind when I'm in my climbing stand to make sure that I'm not smacking my bottom limb on the capture bar on it, because I do run a climber. So that may be something you guys, like if you're looking at just a hunting bow, it has a longer riser. If you're a saddle, this might be better for the saddle guys versus the guys that are running and gunning in a climber. You might want to try, like, they advertise the Allure as like a youth or a woman's bow, and I really wish they wouldn't, because I personally, I would set up the Allure as my running and gunning, my absolute, tree stand bow. I would set it up with a fixed 5-pin, and I would keep it as light as possible at that shorter axle to axle, and I would use it. I'd strap it to my back and climb up and down trees, running and grunting. But the Ethos is 33 axle to axle with a pretty decent long riser. I mean, you gain a really good holding bow, but you may not have the lightest bow that's going to be great in a tree stand or a blind, if I'm being honest. But man, this is a great bow, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. If there's any questions you have about the bow that you don't think you're going to get answered elsewhere, because I'll answer honestly. I'm not a salesperson for Elite. I spend my honest money on it. They do support me with discounts, but I will tell you the honest truth. If there's something I don't like, and there's a lot that I do like. So if there's something you want to know about the bow, comment down below. Please like, subscribe. Help me build this channel. By the end of the year, I like to be at 10,000 subscribers, and it's been a really slow start. So like, subscribe, go check us out on Instagram, X. Yeah, I think that's the only other social media we have: YouTube, Instagram, and X. Check us out. We're always sharing stuff. We have a bunch of cool events coming up. We have our local, for you local guys, Big Truck Farm Brewery actually has a full schedule this year. We'll be at Heart of Maryland in Marriottsville. We'll be at 100 Archers Club in Delaware. And then we're going to be looking for any and other all local shoots that are available, and we'll also be back at TAC 7 Springs this year. Unfortunately, I couldn't. Vermont sold out before I could get registered. Sucks, but it is what it is. We'll be back at 7 Springs this year, so I look forward to seeing anybody who may be local to come out to that. Alright guys, that's it. The Elite Ethos. That's my thoughts. That's my reviews. Hope you guys get some informative information out of it, I guess. See you later.